Hey folks, Wane here, president of the Florida Real Estate Investor Association, bringing you this week's edition of The Fan, the FLREIA Action News. And before I do get into that, I want to wish you all a very happy New Year. Hope you all had a very happy Hanukkah and Christmas. I know I am still recovering from all those toys those little guys got. So family blessed them, and boy, have they worn me out. But anyway, now we're back to business here, closing out the year, and let's see what the headlines have to say for the end of the year here. No bottom till 2013. Economy growing but may wane. Vacation rental scam. Palm Beach County home sales still rising. City Place gets a loan mod, and the Miami Dolphins. All right, from dsnews.com, they are talking about no bottom till 2013. That's right, there's a consensus among the nation's top housing experts that we have not yet reached the bottom. Instead, we're working through a prolonged bottoming process. This is from Stan Humphreys, Zillow's chief economist. They're not expecting to hit bottom, that the U.S. economy, housing economy, not to hit bottom until the end of 2012 or 2013. Negative equity, unemployment, and low consumer confidence remain the key factors in delaying a true recovery in the housing market. But the latest results suggest expectations for recovery are no longer eroding, as have been evident in past studies. Yeah, that means these guys are foreseeing a recovery instead of just continued gloom. There is a widespread dispersion in long-term forecasts among the experts, especially with the current economic climate and uncertainty around the government's future role in housing. Now, we've heard of Fannie and Freddie being closed out, but haven't heard a whole lot of talk from the government side, so who knows what the administration is looking at doing. Looking ahead to the next 5 years, there continues to be significant variation among the panelists regarding their individual home price forecast. Now, here's an interesting one. The most optimistic quartile of panelists project nearly an 18.3% price growth over the next 5 years, while the most pessimistic quartile projects a 1.4% decline. So, sounds to me like the 12 spies going out to hunt the land to see the lay of the land there, and those are your forecasts you're getting back. So, as for us, we are expecting an incredible 2012. On the investment side, so we're just going to be kicking in a high gear and expecting amazing things into this new year. All right, economy growing but may wane. Yeah, this is from Fannie Mae. They're reporting that the U.S. economy is growing, and you may see that the fourth quarter will end with a more than 2.5% economic growth. Now, Fannie Mae does note that 140,000 private sector jobs were added in November. Way to go, private sector. Yes, as long as we're not adding public sector jobs, then we're okay. With slight improvements in housing, Fannie Mae is also predicting that this positive momentum will slow going into 2012. The second and third quarter data for wages, salaries, and real disposable income were revised as downward. They had been showing a tad bit of an increase, but now they're expecting a little bit of a decrease. So they're not expecting this momentum to go on for too much longer, especially going into the first quarter of 2012. So we'll see for ourselves what happens there. All right, from the Palm Beach Post, talk about a vacation rental scam. Now, this really caught my attention because Sharon and I and some friends in the past have done vacation rentals. And here's something to really watch out for. This is an online scam that's burgeoning in which people use legitimate vacation rental websites to list the homes, usually in resort areas, as available for rent. They collect rent checks from trusting vacationers who arrive at their destinations to find they paid for an occupied home. Scammers, however, list the addresses of the unsuspecting homeowner and persuade unwary vacationers to wire rent money or send a check to the scammer's post office box. Some South Florida residents are seeing foreigners show up at their door expecting to vacation, only to find out they've been scammed. Some homeowners have seen numerous families show up at their door throughout the year. So, so now it's a problem because it's they're losing out a couple grand, but it's a global nature. The crime is of a global nature, so police are stymied in efforts to locate, arrest, and prosecute the culprits behind it. So now Here's a quote. Our problem is that the victims are from Canada and other countries, said Sergeant Steve Scafello, head of the Fort Lauderdale Police's Economic Crimes Unit. The money's not actually coming through Fort Lauderdale, so we don't have standing jurisdictionality to investigate it. A former FBI agent says that it's relatively a small amount for law enforcement. At a federal level, they're not even going to look at a case when you've got a $2,700 loss. So that's tough because you do trust these guys. And I know we've sent funds prior to going out to these folks and try to have a fun time. Luckily, we've never had that problem show up and it's not the house. But it is happening here in South Florida. So be careful. Now, here are some ways that they're saying how to avoid being scammed. Pay with a method that can be tracked, such as a credit card. Never wire money or send a check. Now, if you're dealing with an individual homeowner, it's probably going to be the only way they can receive funds, as they might not have a merchant account. Check with the local property appraiser to verify the owner's name and address. Call the owner, request references, and read previous customers' reviews. All things that may help you, but not 100% surefire. But anyway, just be careful out there if you plan to do that. And it's a great way to go, take a vacation. We've done it many times, and it's a lot of fun. And when you hang around with the right people, you have a blast for a few days. All right. Next year, Palm Beach County home sales still rising. That's good. Although home prices are off 56% from 2005 and foreclosures are piling up, home sales are increasing. Home prices dipped to $183,700 from $184,900 in October. So that's quite a bit of a dip there from month to month. And it's down 12% from last year. Home sales were at 943 for November. That's up from 918 in October and up from a year ago where we had 695 sales. The trend for condos is similar. Prices increased slightly in November when the median price of a Palm Beach County unit rose to $77,700, up from $72,100 in October, but down slightly from a year ago. There's a bit of optimism, and some observers are reluctant to proclaim that the worst is over, as I believe so. I mean, we still have a lot of foreclosures sitting idle in the courts, and still a whole bunch of other properties waiting to be foreclosed on. So unless these banks are going to start working things out, which they've been not doing so well, we still got that shadow inventory that could hurt. And again, depending on how fast the banks want to get rid of these things, it could hurt some home prices some more. Palm Beach County's 12% decline made it the state's only large market with a double-digit drop over the past year. Prices in Miami and Orlando were flat for the year. On the other end, Broward County saw an 18% increase, and Lee County a 20% increase over last year. So mixed reports here throughout the state. But again, we're looking here in South Florida, so deals are still out there, opportunities are still out there, so take advantage of them. All right, City Place gets a loan mod. Yeah, after defaulting on its $150 million loan and facing foreclosure, they have worked out a loan modification. The loan was due to mature in 2016, but through some negotiations, they were able to extend it to December of 2018. So they added 2 years on there, but there's no indication whether or not they got their interest rate changed. They were at 6.27%, so we'll see what happens. You know, even though the retail occupancy there at City Place is at 93%, which is really good. As of March, their recent appraisal listed it at $143 million. So even City Place is underwater. And they did, and it's down $80 million. Was it $90 million from $233 million value price back in the boom. One sad thing here for them is that the seafood restaurant McCormick and Schmick's told City Place that they are leaving. They're closing their 10,000 square foot restaurant on February 5th. Now, there is a lawsuit pending due to them breaking their lease, but we'll see how they work that out. All right, and the Miami Dolphins. What a game. Very close. The Dolphins had it in the first half, and then the Pats came back in the second half and scored a bunch of unanswered points. We almost tied it up there towards the end, but didn't pull it off. Ended 24-27. Now we're at 5-10 for the year. But our next game is against the dreaded Jets on the 1st of the year, and it's at home, so hopefully we can pull it off there and enjoy a good New Year present there from them. Hey, did you know the NBA is back? That's right. They played on the Christmas day, so the Heat beat the Mavs. I think they spanked them. I caught a little bit of the game during the Christmas dinner, but yeah, it was quite a spanking there they were giving them. All right, that's it for the news. Let's see what's going on at the FLREIA. All right, don't forget the Survival to Thrival Tour.com. That's right. I'll be away with Frank and McKenney for 3 weeks as we go about trying to stimulate the economy by talking to some of the homeless folks at the shelters throughout the northeast coast. We'll be hitting about 12 states and I believe 15 cities. That might change, but check out survivaltothrival.com and you should see the website right there. All right, and then Real Estate Opportunities webinar every Tuesday at 12:45 p.m. They are down for the next couple of weeks. We will be back up, I believe, in the second week of January. So Sharon's on vacation, unlike me. And then Mastermind Breakfast is on the 9th. That is Monday morning at 7:30 a.m., so be sure to join us there for a great Mastermind Breakfast. Elite Conference Call is on the 10th. At 7:30 in the morning, and then our God's Property on the 12th at 7:30 in the morning. Some early mornings for that week for me. And then the business meeting will be on the 19th. So remember, members, you must pre-register for all of these events, the breakfasts and the meetings, the business meetings. So make sure that we have a plate for you. All right. Well, that's the news. That is the news for this week. We thank you for tuning in. And we look forward to seeing you at any one of our upcoming events. Don't forget to follow us on our social media at twitter.com, facebook.com, and youtube.com, all /FLREIA. This is Wane signing off. God bless, and Happy New Year.
The kingdom of God is within. The kingdom of God is within me. I carry it wherever I go. Got me some joy.